I actually wasn't sure if I should speak in Swedish or English, so I chose English since I wasn't sure if there will be anyone who preferred that. But you can ask questions in Swedish as well, and afterwards in the discussion we can take Swedish as well. It's really strange to hear my own voice. Let me see if I can make it better. Maybe like this. My name is Ekaterina and I work in Telia Sonera, or in Telia. I know that there are a couple of my colleagues somewhere here in the room, so I guess we will meet after the speech. I'm usually located in Stockholm, but I thought it's a great opportunity to learn more about agile development and maintenance and meet all of you. And I'm going to talk about app development and maintenance. In Telia Sonera, my position is product development manager, or in waterfall projects, or product owner in agile projects. I'm sitting in app and UX team, and we work with app development, with usability and service experience, and as well as maintenance of the apps and systems. And I will start with our definition of maintenance, because I work with one of the large projects that we have for app development, and our apps go to more than 1 million customers. And when we started working in agile way about 1 year ago or 1.5 years ago, we needed to define what do we mean by maintenance. And first of all, we defined it process-wise, but there is also from technical perspective, it's something else. Process-wise, we define maintenance as any production bugs that happen after the version of the app was released to the store or server code was deployed in production. But it's impossible to talk about maintenance without talking about a couple of specifics of app development. And first of all, I think it's very important to understand that whatever development we do, the user will not benefit of the new version until the new version of the app is installed on the phone. And I think each one of you has a mobile phone, and you know that sometimes something doesn't work with the app, and then you install a new version and it works. That's exactly the experience that we work with. So we are somewhere between the web pages where you can deploy every hour and some big systems where you need to deploy like once a year or once in 3 months. We also are dependent on App Store processes. Some of you who maybe have been working with apps know that iOS App Store might take up to 2 weeks to approve the build. This means that we might have fixed a critical bug, but the users will only get it in 2 weeks from the moment we fixed it. And we work with new operating system releases. This means that when new iOS 9 with exciting functionalities comes out, we have a month of panic before that, we don't know what will happen. We can predict quite closely what will happen, and we try to fix it beforehand, but there is always this gray area when the iOS is out, and we need to test if it works, and sometimes it doesn't. And of course, we use some architectural tricks. We use proxy that allows us to change remotely some data inside the app. We use content management system, and we could use some hybrid apps and integrate web pages inside the app. But right now, our app are 95% native. And this means that we need to take into consideration all the things mentioned before. We work in a Scrum team, and we are actually a distributed Scrum team. I will show you a bit later how we fit into the whole process of requirements and maintenance and communication with backends. But inside our team, we have Scrum Master, Product Owner, and that's me. We have front-end developers, all 3 platforms. We have user experience specialist who works both with maintenance and with development issues. We have business analyst, test manager, tester, and maintenance responsible. And I think it's very important that maintenance responsible is part of our team and gets more and more integrated in the process. And it works the following way. Our app is available for users in several markets. So this means that any requirements or any things that happen with the user come to the attention of our business stakeholders. We call them commercial team. And then they prioritize the requirements. In this case, it's more applicable to development issues. And it goes all to the dynamically updated backlog. And then I help them to prioritize it and secure that development team knows what are the priorities. But we also have maintenance things. And as you remember from the first slide, anything that happens with for the user or any issues that happen after the app has released, they go to the maintenance. And maintenance responsible needs to communicate together with the commercial team and prioritize the bugs or issues according to the business value. Before, we didn't really have this kind of prioritization, so it was a bit who shouts louder that goes first. But we have put in place prioritization, and there are certain business-wise how can you prioritize it? Is it a major? Is it a minor? Because maybe technically it might be major, but for the users don't see it, so it's minor business-wise, or it may be minor technically that you just need to put a comma somewhere, but maybe this comma is between the 0 or so you show the customer that you will charge them 1,000 instead of 100. So this is a major from the user perspective. And sometimes critical things happen, and then they need to go directly to the development. And for the critical maintenance things, we have a rule that we drop everything and we fix it. In this case, I think that's the benefit of having maintenance responsible as part of the team, because when critical things happen, if the person is outside the team, it's very hard to communicate and understand why is it so critical. But when the person knows the processes and knows the team, it's much easier to handle the prioritization of the maintenance things. Yeah?
In the diagram, you say you have customer and then customer.
Yeah.
So basically the customer...
I'll come to that. Why the customer is on two. Because I just started from left to right to explain where the requirements come. But that's a very good question, because when we deliver the result goes to the customer. So in this case, we can put ourselves in a bubble that we are surrounded by the customer. But I think in this, it's just to outline that whatever we do, that originates from the customer requirements. And then when we release the result, apps or changes on the proxy or changes on content management system, everything goes out to the customer.
But during the process, you have no customer interaction in that case?
User experience,
Time out, guys. This is not an interactive session. We take that in open space. Sorry.
We can discuss later. I think one more thing that is important to mention is that we don't invent any data. We take everything from the backend. And that's why you see local experts. These are system experts that can tell us how it looks in the backend. Because sometimes the backend is our friend, sometimes it's our enemy, because how we just present the data to the customer. So in this case, we need to interact with them. And from maintenance perspective, the maintenance responsible also needs to verify where the issue happens, because maybe in the front end it looks wrong, but we don't know if it is front end, proxy, or back end that sends the wrong data. And maintenance is in a close contact with the backend experts to verify if the problem is actually in the backend. Just a couple of things to outline about the maintenance. The maintenance responsible has full control over the issues. So the maintenance responsible prioritizes it according to the business value. Then when they go into development, she secures that they were groomed and they were understood by the team. And then when they are delivered, she verifies that it is actually correctly. At the moment, we have a separate backlog in a sense for maintenance issue. We try to put it all in one backlog, but sometimes maintenance things are minor and they never get into development. So we felt like we are actually compromising the quality for the customer. And right now we agreed on having a separate backlog. And in that backlog, each issue is prioritized according to the customer impact. And at the moment, we agreed to have a fixed time for the maintenance issue within the sprint. So we have 6 hours or 8 hours or a certain amount of hours per developer that maintenance could use. And when the issues are groomed, there is an estimation for each issue. And then according to this estimation, the maintenance responsible plans the capacity that she gets. But of course, there are still some questions that are open, and I think it will be really exciting to discuss them and hear your opinion. And of course, we don't know, is it sustainable to have 2 backlogs or not? One maintenance, one development. Is it really sustainable to have a dedicated time? Because maybe now it works, but we are not sure if this is really the optimal way, because developers might be developing a new thing, then they need to stop, fix for 6 hours some maintenance issues, and then come back to the new feature that they have been developing. And of course, the last but not the least, should we release more often and test, or should we test more and maybe not aim for having a full everything fixed before it goes to the maintenance? Or should we maybe have just everything fixed and then less maintenance issues? And this answer is not that straightforward for us, because since users actually need to download the app, maybe we will release every day, but they will never download new versions of the app. So I will be really happy to discuss these questions during the open space session. Thank you.
Hey, thank you.